Why now for the autobiography?
I've been boxing 25 years, so I suppose, the Lacey fight was a great part of my career, like my career defining fight, so I figured after the Lacey fight, regardless of how many more fights I got left, it'd be nice to tell my story.
So you're not thinking of hanging up the gloves just yet?
No, not just yet. I think there's maybe a few chapters I could have waited for, but I'm hoping I'm going to get some big fights. My aim is to fight another 2 or 3 more fights, and hopefully there's going to be some super fights in that.
How much longer do you think you want to go on for? Years?
Yeah, probably, to be honest, I'd like to probably get out of boxing probably the end of 2008.
And do what?
Well, do what? Who knows? First of all, have a good rest, and then maybe stay involved in boxing. Just got my trainer's license, so my dad's got a great stable of boxers down there. Maybe help out my dad, and maybe manage a few fighters myself. A bit of TV work, I suppose. Stay involved in boxing, because I love the sport.
What continues to drive you? Is it the money, the fame, or you just love the big fights?
Yeah, I love the big fights. Obviously we can't just fight for the money, but the money is nice. But I've always been motivated to be a champion. Been a champion since the age of 13. And I love being a winner, and love being world champion.
Is the fight with Jermaine Taylor, is that a goer? Do you think that'll happen?
Is that a goer? It's looking unlikely at the moment. Frank Warren's working on it, but to see how it is, I don't think he wants to fight. There's other options. A guy called Mikhail Kessler.
Yeah,
that could be a possibility. Obviously, there's other fighters, Hopkins, Winky Wright. But first and foremost, I'm hoping to get Jermaine Taylor. If that doesn't happen, then Kessler.
Who would you like to fight?
Jermaine Taylor, because he's the bigger name in the States, and that would make more sense.
Your last win was over Manfredo. Was he less of a contender than you thought he was going to be?
I thought maybe he'd go about 6 or 7 rounds, to be honest, but I think he froze a bit. At the end of the day, I had to show him the difference between reality and the real thing, and he got a taste of the real thing on that night.
Yeah. You've had a fantastic career, Joe. What's been your proudest moment?
Proudest moment, I have to say it's a two-part question answer. Obviously, realising my dream, beating the legend in Chris Eubank was phenomenal in such a hard fight. And obviously Jeff Lacey, the circumstances, me being the underdog, this dangerous American coming over, and to put on, said by some to be one of the best performances ever in the British ring. So them 2 fights stand head and shoulders above my other fights.
And what about the fight with Jeff Lacey? Was that your hardest fight?
No, it's not my hardest fight. The Eubank fight was the hardest fight. Lacey was my most pleasurable fight.
Yeah.
It wasn't the hardest fight because I won every single minute of every single round, so it was a tremendous night.
And Eubank was your hardest fight because he was the most difficult opponent?
He was difficult, but that stage of my career I'd never done 12 rounds before, so I put him down after 15 seconds. I tried to knock him out for the first 2 or 3 rounds and nothing happened, and then I had to do the 12 rounds for the first time, which is always the most difficult, and obviously burnt myself up with nervous energy before the fight, so absolutely knackered after that fight.
Yeah. So those are your proudest moments. What have been your lowest points?
My lowest points getting injured, pulling out the fights, injury problems. Obviously, KBSLM was a difficult time, going through personal problems, poor performance, being written off, still won the fight. In all their ways, they're all positives. I'm undefeated, so at the end of the day, I can't say they're that low because boxing is all about winning, and some have been less attractive fights, less, good fights, what I say, but they're all good fights for no reason.
You've never lost a pro fight. What's the secret of your success?
The secret, keep your feet on the ground, keep dedicated, keep focused, underestimate nobody, and obviously you need the ability, the talent, the speed, and everything else to go with it.
You've had problems with your hand. How is it?
It's okay, at first I thought I might have fractured something, but luckily I did an MRI scan a few weeks after my last fight against Manfredo, and it just bruised bones, so at the moment I'm just ticking over, and hopefully I'll be punching within the next 3 or 4 weeks.